The man invested failed and owed huge debts. He came to the casino in a daze, decided to gamble with the last $10. The front desk handed him a chip and wished him good luck later. This was the man's first time in a casino. He slowly walked up to an old man, saw the old man rub the coin 3 times, then pulled the lever and shouted hello. The man was completely stunned. He tried to find a slot machine and sat down, took out a coin and rubbed it 3 times in the same way, then put it into the machine, and chanted the spell. The man actually won a big prize. The man, favored by the god of luck, suddenly saw another machine shining with golden light. He couldn't help but approach, took out the second coin from the cup, rubbed it in the same way, put it into the new machine and shouted hello loudly. Coins flowed out continuously. The man made a lot of money by this. At this time, a staff member came, congratulated him on winning $50,000. The man was completely stunned. He couldn't understand what was happening. Then he saw the golden light again. As long as he invested chips and pulled the lever, the big prize must belong to him. This kind of good luck attracted the crowd. At this time, the man had won 30 jackpots. The staff were too busy to handle. The casino owner was also stunned in place. The old woman hurried to ask him for the way to get rich. The man pointed to a machine unhurriedly. The old woman quickly sat over. A few seconds later, she also won the jackpot. The staff quickly stopped the man, took him into the boss's office. It turned out that the casino was very trustworthy, had packed the money he won. Before leaving, the boss begged him, never come to his casino again. He was about to go bankrupt because of the man. Then the boss thoughtfully arranged a special car to take him home. When he arrived at the door, the driver respectfully opened the door for him. The man held the bag and looked forward to his wife's greeting. After a while, his wife came out and gave him a slap. After entering the door, the wife still didn't let it go. But when she took the bag and looked, there was a whole bag of dollar bills. Learning that he had won the jackpot in the casino, the wife's face suddenly changed. Since then, the man's family status has soared. Did you remember this casino trick?
I gave a gift to the girl I like, but it was snatched by a jealous bully and thrown onto the ice. I endured the humiliation and walked toward the lake's center. Suddenly, the ice under my feet cracked. The icy lake water engulfed my whole body. No matter how hard I struggled, I couldn't escape to the shore. I thought I would drown. At this critical moment, I activated my superpower and teleported to the school library. People around were very surprised. Freezing cold, I didn't have time to think and ran home in embarrassment. When my father saw me, he didn't care at all, but scolded me angrily instead. I said nothing and went back to my room, but my father kept nagging. The moment he slammed the door open, I teleported back to the library again. At this moment, I finally realized I seemed to have awakened some kind of superpower. So the next day, I started practicing my special ability. At first, I couldn't master it well, but through constant practice, I achieved some small success. When I got home, I saw a picture of the Empire State Building in a magazine. It reminded me of the memories of my mother taking me there to play. So I thought, with a single thought, and actually arrived at the Empire State Building. While I was very surprised, I also realized my life could be lived differently. Because of my father's violence, my mother had left home long ago, and I decided to leave here too. Before leaving, I said a final goodbye to the girl I liked. I wanted to tell her everything, but such a thing was too bizarre. Later, I came to New York and rented a cheap apartment, but it used up all my savings, so I went to the front of the bank. At first, I hesitated, but to survive, this was the best way. I pretended to need to use the bathroom and asked the security guard to take me inside the bank. Then I used the gap to memorize the internal scene. That night, I tried hard to recall the scene I had seen during the day. As a result, I really succeeded. Looking at the mountain of cash, I was overjoyed. I started packing the money right away and teleporting it back to the apartment. I made several trips back and forth until the room was filled. Then I stopped teleporting. From that moment on, my life underwent a huge change. When I grew up, I not only owned my own luxury villa, but also had endless wealth. If you had this ability, what would you do?